Hello everyone, welcome. It's Ben from the chair, and this is my first review of the Fast and Furious week. The Fast and Furious. Hope I get all these names right of these movies by the end of the week, because there's so many different ones, different permutations of the film's names that I hope I get them all right. Anyway, this film starts off with some villains hijacking a truck. We don't know who they are, and then we start off with the racing. We notice straight away that this is done with the sound is really there's always some sort of beat music going on with some sort of 2000s really loud kind of music, and sometimes the dialogue in these scenes you can't really hear because they're outside and it's all realistically done. So sometimes there's a shot with Brian by standing by his car, he's really well lit. His face, you can see his face and everything. In the next scene where he hasn't even moved, he's really dark. It's really strange. So then he tries to basically we meet Dom and then Brian, who's trying to get in with Dom by kind of racing him, trying to gain his respect. And it kind of goes wrong, and they kind of take the Mickey out of him. We kind of then we he tries to buy his way in by saying, "Raise me, I'll give you my car." Then it kind of falls apart and stuff like that, and it's really quite a slow burn, this one. It takes 34 minutes before we find out that he's an undercover cop, so it's really a slow burn. It's a really Is it a good movie? I mean, if you're an undercover cop trying to find out whether you know Dom, who is kind of this leader of a group of underground drag racers, would you really fall for someone like Mia? If you really are an undercover cop and really want your badge, as they make it, as the superiors make out he does, would you fall for Mia so easily? I find that a plot hole. As good as the movie is, I really do find that a really big plot hole that he falls for Mia so easily. I mean, I know he's young and she's beautiful and stuff like that, but seriously, um, I think he falls in love with the life. When Dom shows him his Dodge Charger and says that was his, they built it, they Dom and his dad built it together. I find that it's that scene where he starts to change as well. I mean, and there's also this kind of like really minimal backstory between Tam, this Chinese rival drag group, where they just kind of like have a punch up because he slept with his sister and he doesn't really like it, and then the police kind of like um they he Brian thinks it's Tam that's done the truck heist, so then sends a SWAT team in, and then he blames Dom. So it's kind of really kind of weak because he's supposed to be the villain, but you spend so much time kind of wondering when Dom is going to find out that Brian's an undercover cop because he trusts him, and we find out he doesn't really trust people. That you forget there's an actual villain in this movie. It doesn't really feel like that side of the story was fleshed out enough. Um, Eventually, you do find out that he is a cop because he tells Mia that I'm a cop, and everyone's basically after Dom now, and the truck drivers have said we're not going to put up with this crap anymore, so let's go and save him. So I kind of feel like if that's the thing where oh my god, the truck drivers are going to basically kill Dom. Well, most people in America are supposed to have guns anyway. So I mean, there are some good points in this movie, and there are some really like obvious plot devices. Um, it's a good place to start. I mean, it's never meant to be, you know, story. I mean, story. A really well written story. It's never supposed to be that. It's supposed to be a popcorn flick with women and cars, and you're supposed to kind of leave your brain at the door. But there's more of a story there than there are in these films usually. I mean, was made in 2001. You can tell, but with the way some of the graphics are and stuff, but it's still pretty good. I will mention right here that I am gonna sort of quickly mention the special features because I did watch them for this movie. I've already put out an update that I'm not going to do the best special features for all of the subsequent movies because there's so many of them. I'll never get the reviews out. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the special features. Some of the special features kind of double up. There's one called there's a deleted scene section, and there's another section called Hot on Off the Streets, where there's some more deleted scenes after the deleted scenes. So I don't know why they're not pushed together. Some of the special all the deleted scenes look like they come from a VHS, haven't even been kind of upgraded at all. There was a special feature, 19 minutes long, where the technical director of the movie, basically with this porn star, basically was going on about how to build a car and what they had to do to build different cars and what they had to put inside it, with this blonde woman standing next to this technical director with basically a cleavage hanging out because she's leaning forward constantly at the camera. I mean, to be honest, I couldn't watch the entire special feature because I found it off-putting. It's like, look at this, we're about to do this technical thing, but look at this woman by the side of me, she's more interesting. I was like, no, I kind of get what you're about. I don't really want to watch it. Then there's this prelude mini movie leading up to Too Fast Too Furious. I knew I was going to get the name wrong at some point. But this mini movie contradicts the other scene where Brian goes back to Mia, asking, "Can I come out? Can I go out with you again? Because I let Dom go, basically." And she said it's going to be difficult. Now, I'm not sure why this wasn't the end credit scene instead of Don driving off saying the same thing that we've seen him say in the movie, that, I live my life half a mile at a time. I would have preferred to see this extra Mia and Brian scene where he goes back to get her, because that's not in the movie. I don't know why they didn't put that as an end credit scene if they did the Dom bit as well. I know most films didn't do end credit scenes back in 2001, but as far as I'm aware, but I don't know why they didn't choose this scene, because it would have led on to the next film, because at that point they didn't know that Dom Vin Diesel wasn't going to be in the second one, because they didn't know how well it was going to do. So I'm just surprised they didn't do that, or if they were going to, and then by the time they put the Blu-ray out or the video out or the movie out, that they knew that it wasn't going to. But I doubt it, because obviously of the box office thing. So I don't know what made them decide not to put this extra scene in between Brian and Mia after Dom goes off at the end of the movie. It's surprising. Anyway, overall, how would I rate this movie as a beginning of all of them? Now, I would probably give it I'm going to give it a dirty 69. 7.9, 6.9. 6.9 is what I'm going to give it. It's not brilliant, but it's not bad either. There's more story than there are usually. We do have most of the main, we do have at least a third of the main cast that we know and love. We got Dom, we got Letty, and we got Brian and Mia. So there's at least a quartet of the main people that have been in most of the movies. So, that's good. But yeah, there's obviously people that we add along the way that have made the films better or worse, depending on how I perceive the rest of the movies. But there's, but this is a good start. Back in 2001, this probably was a breath of fresh air. I did have a quick look on Google, and this made up about, I think it was $200 million. So this did do really well back in 2001. I think I also read that Too Fast Too Furious made $216 million. So that did even better, probably because they thought Vin Diesel was going to be in it. But that's going to be it for this first review of the Fast and Furious on Fast and Furious Week. So stay tuned for my next review at some point tomorrow of Too Fast, Too Furious. See you guys tomorrow. Bye!